Hey y'all, I'm here today in this video to answer the question, why is Blackbeard Marshall D. Cheech so dangerous? Now this video was actually spawned by, I believe, a comment that one of my subscribers, what's happening Sean, made sometime last week. And this was supposed to come out over the weekend, but y'all know how life is. Regardless, I'm coming in here straight with the analytical nature, with the analysis that which y'all know I do. Now, let's wind the clock back to the beginning. When did we first meet Marshall D. Cheech, aka Blackbeard? Because all we knew of him is Blackbeard at the time. We actually met Blackbeard twice before we knew who he was. Okay. We met Blackbeard first, in a sense. We say we met him, even though we didn't officially meet him, when Firefist Porticus Diaz meets up with Luffy and the rest of the Straw Hats in Alabasta. You remember that whole journey when we met Ace for the first time, right? Luffy's older brother, and everybody's like, oh, I'm surprised. Even though he kind of looked like Luffy, you know, he looked different, but regardless, we find out why that is later on. The thing about it is, he's like, I'm chasing a man, Blackbeard. He killed the 4th Division commander of the Whitebeard Pirates. Luffy wanted Ace to join his crew. Ace was about the Whitebeard Pirates, and Ace was after his sense of justice, right? Even then, it seems like he was just doing a solo mission. You know, get to that later. So Ace is chasing a dude named Blackbeard. Now, if you know historically, Blackbeard is one of the most infamous pirates in the Golden Age of pirates, in the Caribbean pirates. Okay, Edward Teach, go look him up. Phenomenal. Blackbeard. That name in and of itself, and I mean, even in Pirates of the Caribbean, the name's been used in different mediums. Okay, Blackbeard, a character with the name Blackbeard. Oda intentionally did this. I know he intentionally did this. And the fact that he even gives him the name Teach. So you know who exactly his reference is. Even though it's a different character, you know who his reference is going towards. So there's no mistaking it. Blackbeard. And even in, I believe, let's see, Assassin's Creed 4, the recent one. The Black Flag? Was it Black Flag? I'm trying to remember. But Assassin's Creed 4, they deal with, you know, the pirates. Blackbeard. So the name, the fact that, and this is one of the earliest examples of Oda establishing a character as a serious threat. I'm not even playing, like a serious threat. We knew Mihawk. Let's see. Well, there was Shanks and his crew. Lucky Root just blew a guy away. You know, he murked a fool. We had Mihawk, Smoker. No. Mystery Man, who we find out later is Dragon. Mystery Man, Dragon. So there was Shanks, Lucky Roo, and all of them, the red-haired pirates. It was Mihawk, Dracula Hawkeye's Mihawk, when he cut up Zoro, when he coming in, introduced cutting up ships. I mean, seriously. Then there was, you know, Dragon, who we didn't even know, just came in there. Okay. Then we have Blackbeard. Oh, you know, Shanks, you know, the fact that Shanks is introduced, and the fact that Shanks, even though nice, his whole tone, his whole mood change, to say this guy is dangerous, this guy is deadly, he's lethal. And the fact that this guy kills a man, we don't even know who Thatch really is. We got him sort of kind of in the flashback, but we don't really even know who Thatch was. An underling killed a 4th Division, killed a high-ranking officer in the Whitebeard Pirates, who we later learned the Whitebeard Pirates are a Yonko crew, which even heightens his whole credibility up of Blackbeard. Like, there was a continual hype up before we really get to where we are now in the New World and post-time skip. So, Blackbeard is this dude in murders, and then why? I think we find that out later? I'll deal with that later. Or does he say? I forget if Ace says, but I'll just say it now so I won't deal with it later so I don't forget. For a devil fruit. For a specific devil fruit. Oh, no. Blackbeard explains that later. For specific devil fruit. So that's not only establishing he will murder a fool for what he wants. That's a dangerous man, period. It doesn't matter if it's real fictional. That's a very dangerous character that will literally murder somebody for a specific thing that you've been wanting, and one could maybe say obsessing over for the long time, or plotting. Okay, we move on. We meet Blackbeard unofficially. Well, you could say officially, but not under his name. We just meet him on Jai Island. And I was definitely reminded of this because of it was a conversation I had. I think this was the same conversation, and it was dealing with something with Nami. Okay, or was this another one? But anyways, it dealt with I think it was the same dude, Sean. He was talking about how, was Luffy and Zoro referring when they say them. It's back in like chapter 225. It's talking about a man's dream, and Blackbeard. This is not the chapter. I think this is the chapter after he originally had that eating contest with Luffy. You see the kind of clashing heads, and he's talking about dreams. And I'm going to talk more on this giant point because it's something we glaze over. But I'm glad I went back, okay? Because it was pivotal actually, in ways I didn't even see at first. But anyways, they were referred to as them, and Nami actually gives some clarification. It wasn't talking about no foreshadowing of 2 devil fruits, and that's not what I'm saying, or multiple devil fruits. It was talking about the Blackbeard pirates, Luffy and Zoro, especially Luffy. Zoro just told him he knew, he jaged his fighting tree, but Luffy literally stared down Blackbeard, and this is something I really didn't pay attention. I mean, I saw it, but I didn't pay attention to when I was going through One Piece and anime. The fact is, Blackbeard's talking the same jazz as Luffy, right? He's talking about a man's dreams. He's talking about freedom. He's talking the same stuff that Luffy is. But Luffy is straight up doing this. He wasn't even looking like Bellamy. Luffy has never given somebody this kind of look at that point in the series. He's looking great, or actually, period. When he first initially meets, he has not given somebody that. Now, if somebody's a villainous kind of character, sure, kind of, they get him. But just go back and look. Luffy just looks at, says nothing, just looks at this guy. Has no, and it would seem that he's saying the same stuff about with Luffy. It would seem they would be vibing. Although they kind of sort of competed earlier, regardless. I mean, he's telling Luffy that Skypiea exists and all these things. Luffy's not having any of it with this guy. Zoro and Nami kind of had to get Luffy to go. Even though Luffy ends up, if I guess Blackbeard didn't realize that was Luffy because he would have tried to capture him. But, we find that out later. Regardless, Luffy sensed something. Luffy has a sense about these things. And people say stupid. Luffy reads people, okay? Or at least he can if he wants to. He has a knack for reading his opponents, whatever. He knew he was dangerous. That whole tone. Blackbeard's laughing, and at the time it seems he's, an old pirate, old vet pirate, laughing. But he has this dark undertone. Something to keep in mind. Something to keep So this aura. It was also a strange aura when he was talking, and Luffy backed that up. Like, there's this dude, something's off. Something's off about this guy. Oda did a great job on that one. And so Luffy initially is not vibing with the dude. We find out why, he's Blackbeard. So we find out later when he clashes with Ace, and this is when we find out really more about his motives, what happened. Ace and him have the clash, and he talks about it. And he, like I said, he wanted to capture Luffy to become a Shichibukai. Blackbeard has no bounty at this point, ladies and gents. So pretty much, he'll eventually, and we'll see later, that he's considered a supernova as well, even though he's a vet pirate. He's an anomaly. Okay? And he's like 40-something. He's up with Shanks them age kind of thing. You feel me? Doflamingo, all of them, Mihawk. He's an anomaly. He comes out of nowhere. but he's powerful. Then we find out he has the Yami Yami no Mi, and we find out why this guy wanted this fruit. This doggone, it's the darkness fruit, or the void fruit. This ability, man. Oh my goodness. Negates devil fruit abilities. It's the most powerful Logia. Logia, it's the most powerful. Okay? Negates devil fruit abilities. Logia users, their Logia intangibility is gone. It sucks in things. It has gravity. It's literally a void. It sucks in like a black hole. And Liberation releases this, and just the destructive nature of this ability is ridiculous. But it's not a Logia like everything else. It's the element, but it doesn't you don't turn into Jack. You don't, like the Marinomi, you turn into fire. I can use magma fruit. Well, Aokiji, he goes ice. The Yami Yami Nomi's weird, man, because you are the element, you release it. It's weird. It's just a weird devil fruit, really though. It's one of the weirdest Oda's actually created, and so he uses this, and we don't see the final ability of. And people wonder about that. There's a reason we don't see the final clash between him and Ace. I mean, for plot later, but you could say for plot later, but also not to really show all of Blackbeard's abilities, because we don't know. Or it just wasn't a fight. It probably wasn't. It probably wasn't. To be honest with you, probably wasn't much of a fight. That's questionable. How powerful is Blackbeard? And that comes on down the line. But regardless. So Blackbeard has this ridiculous ability. And one point you have to remember, and this comes into play, is Blackbeard's durability. Okay, this will come into play even more later, and it shows it. It's said this dude's durability's got to be one of the highest in One Piece. If you really think about it, I didn't really think about it like I just accepted it. I don't usually accept, but I just accepted it because it made sense logically. But think about it like this: the Yami Yami no Mi, Devil Fruit intangibility. You have it. It not only doesn't give you intangibility, it doubles the damage. As far as I know, it was said it doubles the damage. Just think about that. The fact that Blackbeard, because he still took damage from Ace 5. You understand what I'm saying? It's doubling that impact. Wow. That means your durability is off the Richter. It really does. And we see, and I'll get more to that later. But then we go and we find out with Shanks. I think before the Marine War. I think so. We find out when he clashed with Whitebeard, and he's like, I'm trying to remember. Or Whitebeard told Ace in flashback not to go. And Red, Shanks and is talking with Whitebeard, and they talk about Ace, and they're talking about him going to Marine Ford and whatever. And he's telling Whitebeard not to go. And he's also saying, Blackbeard's the one that gave Shanks his scars. This dude is a massive threat. He gave Yonko, and this is probably back in the day, but still, Shanks. Before pre-Devil Fruit now, mind you. And people say, oh, he probably did a sneak attack. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that sneak attack. I'm just saying that this dude is that beastly. The fact that Shanks is concerned about Ace going up against Blackbeard. Ace, 2nd Division Commander of the Whitebeard Pirates, mind you. Fire Fist Ace. I believe he had a bounty of over 500 million berries, right? 550, if I'm not mistaken. I forget what Ace's bounty is. Help me out with that one. Regardless, Shanks is concerned, and he clashes with Whitebeard. Then we move to Impel Down, and here comes Blackbeard. Somehow he knew about Luffy. Oh yeah, because he was Shichibukai at this point, because he turned in Ace. Okay, instead of Luffy. And he becomes Chichibukai to fill in for Sir Crocodile. Because we actually saw Luffy, talk about Blackbeard's, he wanted to be Chichibukai. That was at the meeting where you had Mihawk, Dracula Hawkeye's Mihawk, Heavenly Demon Don Quixote Doflamingo, who we learned, aka Joker at this point, and the Tyrant Bartholomew Kuma, and they were talking to, I believe, Sengoku, and was it Marineford? I don't think it was Mary Jo. I think it was Marineford. But yeah, they're talking, and we get, and so he's just Chichibukai. He goes to Impel Down, and he just comes in there. He comes in there and comes in the wreck shop, okay? He comes in there and comes in to get people. He comes in for the level 6 prisoners. And also, he's coming out of there and is the clash with Magellan. But before that, he meets Luffy, and Luffy's pissed. Oh, my. Luffy is pissed because he knows about Ace because it was Blackbeard. And also, he already hated Blackbeard. And I gotta say this about Blackbeard. I wondered about that name, though. Because originally, he didn't fit the Blackbeard. Originally, he came in clean shaven. Probably because Oda didn't want to spoil anything. But he comes in at Blackbeard. And now, I'm wondering if his thing got to be real Blackbeard, okay? I'm just saying, though. Gotta say it. I'm saying. Because look at Jesus Burgess. He was clean shaven pre-time skip too. And now look at his beard. But anyways. So, Blackbeard, Luffy. And Jinbei's like, no, Luffy, this ain't the time. And plus, Jinbei also know Blackbeard would have spanked that behind. He would have spanked Luffy. Let's just be real. But Blackbeard's crew, they get, people say, oh, they got caught off guard. We know, we see some, Magellan, he can get caught off guard. Magellan put in that work. So it establishes that Magellan's powerful. At least has, Magellan's powerful. That he took down the whole. So Blackbeard gets cocky. Like Luffy, like a lot of them, and that's something to keep in mind. He gets cocky, okay. And one thing that we see at Marineford as well as we see here is what I believe Sean was talking about. Blackbeard's only gonna fight when he believes the odds are stacked in his favor. That's the kind of character he is. Well, doesn't mean he's only going to, but that's the main point. Unless he has something that he wants. This dude's manipulative, okay? He's manipulative. I don't know what level, maybe more or even playing field with Doflamingo, okay? I mean, this dude's plans for days, and then we'll see the plan fully executed at Marineford. But anyways, with Impel Down, Shiryu, he comes back and he says, yeah, come join me. He ain't trying to stay up in here. He's like, yeah. So he gets dangerous people. And mind you this, the level 6 prisoners he did get, apparently they were some of the most infamous, notorious names of that era. And apparently, and it's looking like the Blackbeard powers were powerful from jump. Okay, there was 5 of them. Mind you, it was 5 of them. And dude, like Luffy them, the fact that Luffy was worth, the Blackbeard powers, they knew they were powerful. They one dude's on a dying, like these dudes are ridiculous. And we see Von Auger, we see a little bit of what he can do. These dudes ain't nothing to play with. Okay. And so there's 10 of them, and they can compare it to the strides, but not now. Post time skip, no, different story. So we move to Marineford. Blackbeard shows up at the end, right? And he goes in. Him and the Blackbeard colliders finish off Whitebeard. Then he steals Whitebeard's devil fruit. I mean, he could, and then they clash with Sengoku. Everybody comes out okay between that clash. Sengoku, I didn't brush it off. Blackbeard, not home. This was his plan, to become young, to get into Impel Down. Shichibukai, he was only Shichibukai to get into Impel Down, to get the level 6 prisoners, and then he took the opportunity, very opportunistic, to take out Whitebeard to get his Gorgonomi. Gorgonomi. the Quake fruit. So the most powerful paramecia in the world, at least that we know of. Wow. Most powerful Logia, most powerful paramecia. And takes out a Yonko. But at the same time, he doesn't want to face red-haired Shanks. Power high as he was, he doesn't want. And nobody was trying to face red-haired Shanks. He's like, so that tells us, he's like, he wasn't on that level. He's like, bro, you want to go? Yeah. You about that right now, right? You Blackbeard, you want to face me now? He's like, nah, I'm gonna have to put a rain check on that another time. So that tells us power. But yo, all the hits, the things, shockwaves from Sengoku, nothing. Does not phase this guy. Shockwave, crackness from freaking Whitebeard, point blank, nothing. This dude's ridiculous. And so now we move post time skip. We find this dude's a Yonko. So he took over Whitebeard's territories and whatnot. Think about it like this, and I tell people this. Blackbeard has the weakest Yonko crew. As a crew, it's the weakest. You tell me Big Mam's and Kaido's crews are weaker. Let's not even talk about the redhead pirates. We're talking about them. But at the same time, I have to acknowledge Blackbeard as the second most powerful Yonko behind red-haired Shanks. And the thing is, what people need to realize, the fact that he came up in there and that neither Big Mom nor Kaido took him out, because he was taking territories. You taking territories, they haven't taken you out. The dude's that powerful. And then there's the potential of him potentially getting a third devil fruit. Now, I'm all for him doing it, okay? The Cerebus concept, possibly Mythical Zone Cerebus. And also complete the zone. Possibly there's another theory of possibly him killing Marco the Phoenix. I'm of that. Marco possibly dying. They clash Marco the Phoenix and him getting the Phoenix. And which would just, oh my goodness. You're talking about hacks. This dude would be OP out the, dude, seriously. And that's the only, if he gets something like whether the Cerebus or the Phoenix, I could see him potentially killing Shanks. Otherwise, hell no, he's not killing Shanks. Absolutely not. Not that powerful. Shanks conquers hockey is just, Shanks is ridiculous, period. He's conquered hockey, off the record, out his world. But the thing, man, you look at all the elements. I've given you all the track record. From the fact that he established threat, the murderous intent for what he wants, the fact that he's manipulative, the fact that he's pretty much like Luffy, although he's more immoral than Luffy. The fact, he will have the will. He has the patience to wait for years for one thing. I mean, this dude schemes. This dude's he didn't come across as intelligent, but this dude, his whole character is a massive threat. He's dangerous by every sense of the word. And just to back up, he gets power, man. He's power. By nature, he's powerful. Base form. Then he gets a powerful Logan. Then he gets a powerful Paramecia. He defies the rule of eating only one devil fruit. It's saying because he has an abnormal body. And what that actually, in turns, I've been asked, I can't properly tell. But what I will say is, I believe it has a combination to do with the Yami Yami Nomi with the Void, with his own structure. He's a weird looking cat to begin with, and with also the will of D. I think him being a D has something to do with it. I do. What all that entire we're gonna have to find out later. I'm not even gonna begin to even theorize about that. But Blackbeard, his very entity, his very essence as a character, his very identity is dangerous. So why is he dangerous? Because of who he is. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing of what it is. But it happens. Okay? We haven't seen him cold-blooded and ruthless, but we're pretty sure he can move. I mean, he has everything about Blackbeard is a threat. Just look at Luffy, man. Look at Straw Hat Monkey D. Luffy. He's a massive threat. And what did I say? Blackbeard, people could say he's a dark. No. Luffy can be pretty dark if he wanted to. I will say that Blackbeard is more immoral than Luffy. That's the key part. And since Luffy's massive threat, an immoral version, I won't say evil, but I will say an immoral version of Luffy. And the reason I won't say evil is because Luffy's morality is still highly in question. Okay, consider that. Not expecting one to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on Blackbeard. How do you like him as a character? Is he one of your favorite characters and all that jazz? And till next time, y'all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace.